Hey everybody, this is Organic Dairyman, and today is December 25th, Christmas, and yes, Merry Christmas again everybody. And I hope you did have, obviously you'll be watching this the day after Christmas, so I hope you had a good Christmas. And we're just all done with the chores here. Well, for the, most of the chores for the day. We got all the feeding done. We let the cows out today for the last time because we're supposed to get a snowstorm sometime, I don't know, tomorrow. So, and anyways, so yeah, we're supposed to get, there's supposed to be like 2 systems that come through, and we're supposed to get maybe I don't know, 8 to 10 inches of snow between each system that comes through. So anyways, yeah, so you're probably wondering what am I talking about here today. Today, it was about 2 years ago today, we had what they call the Christmas Day ice storm. And anyways, so I'm sure some people probably wonder, what do we do during a power outage on our farm and stuff. And yeah, so we do have a backup generator and stuff. And yeah, 2 years ago, on this very day, we had a major ice storm. The day started out with freezing rain, of course, and the ice was building up on the power lines up there a little bit. But what happened here, we live in a valley called Whetstone Valley, and right here in Northeast South Dakota. And what happened is towards the evening it started warming up and the ice started falling off the lines. And so we were okay here, but about 15 miles west of here, up in the hills that they call the Coteau Hills, where the elevation is a little higher and it was a little cooler, the ice did not melt. It just kept building up and building up on the power lines all day long. And there are some places up there in the hills that they actually had 2 inches of ice in the power lines. And so anyways, our power that we get from our farm comes from North Dakota, and some of those big lines that brought it down here got knocked down. A whole bunch of power lines got knocked down, so we were without power for about 5 days. And so people are wondering, what do we do during a power outage? Yeah, so we do have a in here we have, I don't know how well you guys can see this or not, but we have a backup generator right here. It's a PTO driven generator. It's a I can't even think of the name of the brand. Oh, it's a Cato Light. It's got a, I guess we got it covered up with plastic to protect it from the dust. It's got a 175 amp breaker on it. It's a 40,000 watt generator. So this generator will run everything on our farm just like normal. We've never tripped the breaker on here, so it it's worked fine. It will power pretty much it will power everything that we need for the farm. We'll run everything that we need. We can run both houses and everything on the farm. Obviously we made a homemade trailer and mounted on, so you can hook it up, pull it out, back it up, and I'll show you this over here. And yes, we have a deal set up over here where we have where we can hook the generator up. This is the main wire here that we hook it up with. There's a plug-in. It's hanging on the back side there. Yeah, right there. We plug that into the generator, and we have like a box of the farm, one for my brother's house and one for my house. And then we have the main thing here for the generator. You plug all this in. I can't get it to come off, but with one hand. But there's breakers in here. Let me set this down here for a second. Yeah, so we have breakers here. This is for the main breaker. Obviously it's off for this. And then over here you have breakers in here, so you got to switch them over because yeah, everything's off on there. So let me set you guys back here again. Sorry about the noise. So yes, so behind that thing there is behind each one of these there's a breaker. I'll let you just show you mine. for my house. Yep. So when you have a power outage, you take and flip that off, and then you slide this thing over and flip that one up. And the reason why is because if you don't, what you'll do is you'll backfeed. You'll take all your electricity and you'll backfeed over to the transformer and down the line, and you'll be trying to power the neighborhood. Somebody else will be stealing power from you. You'll burn your generator out. You could burn it out. So yeah, so that's kind of how this works. And the kind of an ironic thing was back in 2 years ago, it was the summer of 2016, we actually just had these things all rigged up. Because before that, we didn't have any other way to feed, the houses separately, and stuff. So it was just kind of ironic that we just happened to get it hooked up in the summer of 2016, and then Christmas Day we had that ice storm, and it knocked the power out. And like I say, we were without power for like 5 days. And so yeah, we had the generator backed up right here. We had it running, and it was quite a deal. It took, the problem is we had to jug the fuel into the tractor because we couldn't, obviously this is the fuel tank here, and the fuel tank wouldn't reach over to the tractor, so we had to jug all the fuel in 5-gallon jugs, and it took about 80 gallons of fuel, per day to run the farm. And it pretty much was able to run everything. So like I say, oh yeah, and you probably noticed why we have a solar panel up there. This is just like a little solar panel, just kind of a battery maintainer. I just put it in that battery so it keeps it maintained. It just puts a little juice and it puts out 27 volts, but I probably unhook it right now. That battery's probably been more than charged up. But yeah, so that's pretty much what happened. Yeah, that's like I say, that's our transformer, and that's where the main power comes in, and everything gets fed through the yard. We have some underground wires here too and whatnot, but yeah, so pretty much this generator right here, it can run everything on the farm. Obviously the main farm breaker is 200 amps, so I mean, if you ran everything, if you put everything on at once, let me flip on the vacuum pump, the silo loader, some welders, and blah, blah, a bunch of stuff in the house, you'd probably trip it, but for the most part, it can run everything. So, well, it does run everything that we need. We can run the TV in the house, the microwave, the computer, and everything you want, just like normal. The yard lights come on, just like everything is just like normal, except you hear the roar of a tractor out here in the yard, for 24 hours a day for 5 days. Well, we do shut the generator down, obviously, once in a while too. We got to grease up the power shaft in there, and just maybe check the engine oil on the tractor and things like that you probably should do when you're running a PTO power generator. And yeah, it works pretty nice. Obviously too, if you ever need to take the welder out and go out to the field and weld something, you got a generator to weld. And yeah, I mean, basically that generator right there, that was the only thing 2 years ago that was keeping us in business. Obviously we're not going to go milk the cows by hand. If we milked all of our cows by hand, it would take us all night and all day to milk them twice a day. It would take forever. Back in the days when people used to milk cows by hand, the cows only gave 20 pounds of milk, and maybe when they milked 10 cows, and some of our cows give 80 pounds a day. There's maybe some that can give 100 pounds a day, and it would take a long time to milk those cows out. So yeah, you got to have electricity to milk the cows. We got to have electricity to get silage out of the silo, and clean the barn, everything. And so that generator there was our lifeline. If that thing had broke down, we would have been in trouble. So yeah, that was quite a time too. And then it didn't help, but at the same time, that fall I broke my ankle that fall too, and I just got out of my cast about a week before that ice storm, so I had a sore ankle. I was walking around with a stiff sore ankle for, oh man, that was so sore, and trying to deal with all this power outage and everything like that. And, oh man, that was a mess. But yeah, anyways, I thought I'd share that with you guys. What happened 2 years ago, that was really stressful at that time. I'm just thankful that we didn't have the ice storm. You know, if the ice hadn't melted down here in the valley, it would have been worse. We probably would have been without power for a week and a half, you know, maybe 2 weeks. And like I say, I mean, it's definitely cheaper to buy your electricity from the power company than it is to produce it yourself. You know, just running a tractor, it just takes so much fuel. We were like running out of fuel too. I mean, we couldn't get any fuel because the fuel truck in town, the part of the town, the electric co-op that they get their electricity from, the same co-op we get ours from, and the guy in town couldn't get fuel out of his fuel tanks because he didn't have electricity to fill up his truck. So we were siphoning fuel out of everything that we could find in the farm, you know, out of any tractors that we weren't using, just to make it until they could at least get some power in town, or some way to get power to get pumped. And luckily they finally did, so they came out and fueled us up and kept us going. So you gotta have fuel. But that was kind of an interesting memory from 2 years ago on Christmas. So yep. So anyways, I thought I'd quick share that with you guys. And I gotta get going here because we're gonna go to my mom's house and have some Christmas dinner or supper or whatever you want to call it, and do that. So anyways, yeah, so just like I said, I thought I'd share that story with you guys. So anyways, Merry Christmas again, and like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop me a question down in the comment section below, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Organic Dairyman, and check out all my other videos, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And yeah, and what else? Yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks everybody that has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you. And yep, so I will catch you later.